Recently, I was traveling in Japan and struggling with language. I lived in Japan for 2 years and have visited numerous times since. Sadly, I don't practice Japanese very much day to day, so my first few days going back were tough. Once I got there, a flood of words started returning to me. All the mundane vocabulary that you need to navigate daily living in a foreign country. Words like mamanaku, which means shortly or coming up in the context of train announcements. When the conductor said mamanaku, my ears perked up to hear the name of the station that was coming up soon. I was sitting in a cafe one day zoning out. I had just finished an intense work week of production, and because I wasn't concentrating, I couldn't understand a thing. I couldn't understand the menu. I couldn't understand the signs in the cafe. I couldn't understand the waitress asking me what I wanted to order. And then I remembered something that I loved about traveling: the silence. I couldn't process any of those inputs because I wasn't concentrating, and I didn't have to. Of course, I had to order, so I turned on my brain and ordered siphon coffee, a delicious style of coffee that I highly recommend and the whole purpose of why I picked that cafe in the first place. I turned off my attention again, and there was silence. Serene silence. Indecipherable noise from the radio, from PA announcements, and other patrons. Unreadable words on the store signs, billboards, train ads, and the cafe menu. And I remembered that I loved the peacefulness of living in a foreign country and being able to turn off the translation part of my brain and just be in a place. I could be entirely alone in my thoughts without any distractions or external input other than what I could see. For myself, and many of our readers, leatherworking can be the same kind of respite. You can go into your studio, close the door, and work on a project, and it can be a delicious treat after a long and stressful day. Whether leather crafting is a hobby or your work, you can make it a joy to do. Yes, custom leatherworking can be aggravating, especially when there are deadlines and unreasonable demands, but the doing of it, the practice of leather craft, doesn't have to be stressful. You can set up your space to work cleanly, and you can turn off the external stimuli to quiet your surroundings. You can create your own island of peace and focus on the simple act of making leather goods.